It's America's dark secret, and tonight we're shedding light on it to help bring an end to it. The sexual exploitation of our children. It is rampant across this country and right here in Atlanta. Over the next couple of days, you're going to see and hear how it's happening right in your own community, and you'll hear and see what you can do about it. Our Center for Investigative Action's Ross McLaughlin brings us this special report.
So many of you out here. Why? I'm not police, no. You look quite young. How old are you? Are you? Okay.
They're forced to engage in sexual acts on a daily basis.
That one in that hat looked really young.
They can find 500 girls on the streets in Atlanta in any one given evening.
But the other girl was really young. She looked young. She said she was 20.
They're victimized repeatedly.
Yeah, how old are you? 18? You don't look 18.
They are demanding our attention. They are our children, and these are our daughters.
I started off prostituting at age 11.
Just like many of these girls we saw working the streets, this woman who asked to be called beautiful was lured into prostitution.
I ran away from home. I met this guy. I ended up sleeping with one of his friends. I didn't know it was for money in the beginning, but after one friend became 2 friends, and 2 friends became 5 friends, and 5 friends became
a life of prostitution.
This is a problem that is not reported, that average people don't see, and when they hear about it, they are so disgusted, it's so distasteful, they think it couldn't possibly be true, but it is true.
And we couldn't believe what we saw, too. In North Atlanta, young girls being brought out of what looked like a legitimate business and shuttled away in cars. When we went inside with a hidden camera, we felt pretty sure the woman who greeted us was offering to get us a girl.
They keep a lot of the underage victims off the streets, out of view, because they know if we know about it, we'll be able to shut them down quickly.
Several times I was traded.
Sergeant Ernest Britton of Atlanta's Child Exploitation Unit says it gets worse.
If they do not produce, per se, a certain amount of money, they risk being beaten.
I've been beaten. I've been pistol whipped by pimps. Bottom line is, I didn't make quota.
From 11 to 17, a child. Instead of being with parents, she was controlled by pimps.
He would buy clothes if I needed them, shoes, and I wasn't allowed to buy these things myself.
And held against her will, forced to be with many men.
It was horrible, one after another, after another, after another.
It's not like there's just one location where children are being sold.
But every once in a while, some are rescued, like this FBI raid in Gwinnett County in June. 3 juveniles held in hotel rooms were pulled to safety. 5 Johns were arrested. It was part of an ongoing sweep across the nation called the Innocence Lost National Initiative, which so far has resulted in more than 1,000 convictions.
We can engage with state and local law enforcement where these people land and impact their operations.
Changes in Georgia law now treat those forced into prostitution as victims, and changes have also been made to beef up the laws to help prosecutors go after human traffickers with tougher penalties.
For Atlanta SVU, we've always treated these children as victims.
There's a better life than this for you, I think. Don't you think?
Run, get help. Don't be afraid to turn these people in who are degrading them.
Fortunately for Beautiful, at 17, she got off the streets and is now working on a college education.
I feel like I'm a survivor because I live to tell my story.
But there are so many more young people out there, and their pimps who control them are nearby.
She looks controlled.
Like this teen who just offered up sex.
No, darling, I don't. I just more concerned about you, actually.
No, don't be concerned about me, baby.
Now, there's a growing number of groups bringing awareness to this problem. Atlanta is a major hub, and groups doing something about it. It's not just young girls either. It's boys, too, who need to be rescued. Tomorrow, I hit the streets with an advocacy group trying to rescue these women and children against the toughest of odds out there on the streets. And you're going to hear how they've accomplished some successes. Meantime, if you suspect child trafficking, call Crime Stoppers right away. We've put the number and information about where to go for help and safe haven on our website.